The simple way I trade stocks. Well, it's easy to say that. And saying that trading is simple is obviously, how can I put this? It never is it? It's not simple. But I have a very, very simple way of trading stocks, and that is I simply trade support and resistance, or I simply trade supply and demand, and that's as easy as it gets. And today I'm going to show you what that's about, just so that, and it's free, so you can just take this and run with it. But I don't advise changing your system every 5 minutes. I know you're watching all the videos and getting as much information together as possible, but don't be looking for the silver bullet, and don't be changing your system every 5 minutes. And of course, the other piece of advice I've got for you is don't have 300 or 400 different indicators on your chart, because you're just going to confuse the hell out of yourself. Anyway, it's Rob Guilty. It's logical trading. Trading is risky. Most traders lose money. So if you don't like losing money, rather don't trade. That said, watch this video till the end so that you can get some good information. So what I do mostly is manage my risk. That's the most important thing, managing your risk. Okay, so look at a trade as how much it's going to cost you. That's your risk. That's what you're going to pay. End of story. Then walk away. That's it. Okay, so if you're risking $50, risk that. That's it. End of story. Okay, take it as if the trade loses, you've lost that. That's fine. If the trade wins, yippee, yippee-ki-yay, brilliant stuff. Okay, but how do we do that? What is support and what is resistance, and how do you draw these lines? Okay, so we all know support is down at the bottom, and it's holding the price up, so it's when you're buying the price low. And we all know that resistance is when it's right at the top and you're selling the price high. Now, these areas don't have to be perfect. They do not have to be exact. So that's why we draw blockies or rectangles or whatever you want to call them. Okay. Trend lines also work as resistance and support. You can draw trends. So when it comes back down into that trend, that can be an area of confidence for you. So then you've got more than one indicator giving you an idea of what's going on. Now, if you're going to draw an area of resistance or support, it simply needs to have 3 touches for it to be a good one, okay, to be decent. So if it's got 3 touches along the way, then you've got a good support or resistance area. It's got 1 or 2 touches, that's not a support or resistance, okay. So that's how you draw your support and resistance. Now, what I'll normally do when I'm trading a support or resistance is I'll go to the higher time frame. Let's say the day. Now we're in the day. Then I'll put it on a line chart. Now, line charts, the reason I do that is it's easier to see the configuration and the points, okay? Then you draw your support or resistance area in. Once you've got it drawn in, and simply go back to the candles. And once you're back in the candles, drop down to the lower time frame. And you can drop to as many lower time frames as you want. Okay. I simply go to the H4. Sometimes I'll drop to the H1, depending on the day. That will now give you your support and resistance. Now all you've got to do is trade into that support or trade into that resistance, and then look for a confirmation candle coming out of that area. Once you have that, it's very simple. You set up your stop loss, you give it an area, you give it some room, and then you set up your take profit target. But The thing with take profit is you don't have to have that set in stone. You can add to your profits, you can follow your profits, you can put trailing stops once it's very close. If it gets very close to your take profit and you're watching it, don't take profit. Move your take profit up and put a trailing stop in at that area. Okay? If it keeps on going, you make more money. If it comes back, you got out of the area you wanted to anyway. So that's how you would work with support and resistance. How do you draw a supply or demand area? Well, generally what I do is I use it on any time frame just to give me a bit of an area of where the supply and the demand is. And what I'll do is if there's 3 large candles going up or down, and there's a large move or a vast move, I'll take the small candle just before that, and then I'll draw my block out of that, and that's your supply or demand area. And there's always supply and demand in those areas. So just to recap, your support and resistance needs 3 points of contact for it to be valid. The same goes for a trend line and support and resistance. If you're drawing a trend on a line and it's going up or down, it needs 3 points of contact for it to be a valid, decent support or resistance. And that's as simple as it gets. That's as simple as my system gets. So I hope that helps you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm always free to answer them. And that's about it for today. I hope you have a lovely Christmas for those of you who celebrate Christmas. I do. It's Christmas weekend. It's a good time to be with your family, to have a wonderful time. So trading is going slow now. Everything's slowed down. Everything's kind of stopping, and we're going into the Christmas period. So enjoy it. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe, and follow in some cases. And so until next time, enjoy the Christmas. Bye.